All right, everyone. Welcome back into another prize. One second. I got some audio coming in. One second here. Second live stream in a while. I apologize there. Uh, Still trying to get it down. Let me go ahead and get back into it. See if you have any questions. I don't think so. JB's driving. Hopefully you're trying on the road there, JB. Clay Thompson over 26 and a half points. Let's see here. Actually, I have the prize picks board pulled up here as well. Let's see if he is someone that's popping up at all. So, guys, I'll try to get into as many questions as we have. I am streaming this on Twitter, I believe, as well, and that's why the audio might have been coming in there slightly. Don't have anything for Clay just yet. So, let's look at it via the sports book. All right. And then I'll just be getting into kind of just the breakdown of today's slate as well. Clay. So no, that's kind of looking like a push. Okay, so probably staying away from Clay. Giannis fantasy points. I'm probably not touching Giannis at all, just in general there. Um, just because, well, we don't know what his minutes are going to be like, right? He's coming back from that injury. I actually like another bet in that Bucks game that I think we'll be targeting. So that's going to be the route I'm going to go. If you could find a 3 or 4 lay bet that includes a taco, that'd be cool. Just a reminder, guys, this is not the strategy that I suggest to do on tacos. Now, my biggest point of emphasis, though, is going to be stick to a strategy. So if this is your strategy, by all means, that's fine. I typically like to say, let's use the Taco Tuesday as a profit day, as a almost guaranteed day in which, unless we get super unlucky, we're going to be making money or just breaking even, you know? So yes, this is a good question based off of the video earlier from Matt. Any Walker Kessler or Lions worth pursuing? And actually, this is a great question. Let's just start out this video kind of recapping this as well. So one of the worst bets that we actually have, unfortunately, would be Horton-Tucker fantasy points. And so give this one a second to load here, the fantasy point props. But that one was one that it seemed like was going to be a very strong one for us today. Fantasy points for Horton-Tucker. And guess what they decided to do? And this is where when people are saying people are watching your coverage, they might be, because 34 and a half is about 4 points too high, according to the projections. And I'll see if this sheet's loading. There we go. Good. My internet can take it right now. Hopefully the stream is looking pretty sharp as well. So here we go. Horton-Tucker right here. Like, I thought it'd be much better than this. I'm actually pretty shocked that it is this bad. Now, once again, I do want to add in the per 36 numbers, and the per 36 numbers would suggest that it should be a lot closer to 30 or 31 or 32 points. But as it sits right now, it is one that I'm staying away from just because of that. Okay, like I thought there was going to be an edge there based off of how they had it sitting this morning. Probably not. We're probably just staying away from Horton-Tucker, unfortunately. Which sucks because it seemed like that was going to be the best one that we were getting. We do have some decent ones from OKC and whatnot as well, so that is going to be an approach I think we can go with instead. And then looking at Kessler. Yeah, so his fantasy score is actually extremely high as well. I was hoping that both of these would be around 30 or so. Now, this one, I don't mind obviously going against the Spurs. You just went for 44 against them. You know, this would be the one that I think we could roll with. This would be fine. Not a lock and load, not my favorite one, but one you could go with. Okay, so I'm going to get into a couple real quick as well, and then I'm going to get into kind of the general view, and then I'll get back into the questions. So Kyrie over 29 points and rebounds. Let's see. All right, so yeah, we don't have any for Kyrie just yet. I don't think. We'll see. Okay, so yeah, none for Kyrie just yet, pulling up there. And guys, this is taking in the sportsbooks odds and matching them up against what PrizePicks is presenting. So pretty much, it's probably not a good bet. It's pretty much the summary of it. But we'll check on here. So 24 points, already not looking like a good one. All right, let's see here. It's points, rebounds, and assists. So yeah, not looking like there's an edge there at all. Basically, exactly a push. And with that, with the team dynamic right now as well, he's still newly acquired. We're still trying to figure out that team a little bit. I'm probably staying away from that one. Okay, so now let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of today's board. So yeah, some people are kind of mentioning the taco. Yeah, we're just taking the taco, right? Pretty much as simple as that. Um, NHL Taco W. Hayden's wondering, yeah, I mean, it should be. Anytime we're getting a taco, we're just taking it pretty much. I'll go ahead and look at it real quick. Make sure we have the correct one. It's Matthew. Oh, gosh, they chose the wrong one. There's no way. There's no way people voted Matthew instead of the other one. Was it Brady? Right? Like, what? I didn't even look at this prior. Okay, so definitely not a lock and load here. But in theory, should still hit. Like, we're getting a full shot on goal. That is huge. It's not a half a shot on goal, it's a full shot on goal. So chances are, like, he's gonna get 3. But I saw that both of them were up there on PrizePicks on the Discord. So I find it very interesting that people decide to go with this one. Anyways, we're taking it, right? We're just taking it, okay? So just looking it over for NHL purposes, there's only one NHL bet that I liked to go with it, and that'd be David under the shots on goal here. Okay, so not perfect, not great. We can see the last 2 games he's been under. We could go with that. Okay, just not one that I particularly love too much. That's really the only NHL bet that we could get with it. And so once again, I do like to look at it on DraftKings Sportsbook just to make sure that we are getting the same exact odds on there, and we're not. So minus 130 on DraftKings. So probably just looking to the NBA DFS odds. So let's go ahead and get into those NBA DFS PrizePicks props. And so just using this sheet real quick, guys, looking at it right now, I think they took away the Horton-Tucker one. We got DFS over 5.5 rebounds. That's the best one in terms of over bet that we're getting. But we can see projection-wise, probably not one we want to chase. So after that, we'd be looking at Brook Lopez here. And this is a pretty good one. So Brook, we can see he's projected to get 4.5 points or 14.5 points. The line is set at 12.5 across the board. That's pretty good. And minus 131.5 to get the over. So we can see everything's aligned there. But I don't know if that's the approach that we exactly want to go with Brook, because there are some really strong bets out there, I think, for Brook Lopez as a whole. So we go back into this page for the fantasy sports projections, or for the fantasy projections. Brook is actually one of the best ones that we are getting right now. Okay. Averages 31 fantasy points, projected to get 31 fantasy points. The biggest issue with this one is just the game needs to stay close. And so if the game doesn't stay close, then yeah, he probably won't get there. But if the game does stay close, this is going to be a very solid prop that we are getting. And I also want to point this out on Underdog as well. Stephen Brook. This is set at 27.5, and I'm pretty sure they're the exact same way in terms of scoring. Right? Yeah. So that just, I mean, if you are trying to make that bet, just do it on Underdog. Okay. And it's a weird one in which obviously it's Taco Tuesday. We want to be making bets on Taco Tuesday, but This stood out to me, and I just wanna call that out because that is a very good number, especially when on PrizePicks, it is set at a little bit higher. Or actually, it's a little bit lower, sorry. Still, both of them are very good. Both of them are very good. Like, it should be at 30. Even with Giannis playing, it should be at 30 to me. And for what it's worth, you got Nick Claxton there as well. That's a decent one. You could roll with that one. But let's go ahead and get into kind of just the props, and then we'll get into the fantasy points. So Walker Kessler still kind of popping up there for points and assists. That's a decent one. You can make that one for sure. Kyle Anderson, I'm probably staying away from. You guys can make this prop if you want to, but we can see not projected to get over. And we're just not getting that many great ones there just yet. Let's look at the underbets. We have one underbet that's popping up. Cam Reddish under 2.5 rebounds, but we can see he's projected to get 4. So we're not getting the best board in terms of NBA bets right now. Thibault, I guess we could do that. They're kind of favoring the over a little bit more, but not really. Probably nothing that we're going crazy with. Same thing here. And yeah, nothing too crazy here. So I think the best route that we're going to have right now, as it says, is probably looking at the fantasy points. So we'll get into that in just a second. Let me see if we have any questions here. I'll be getting those out to you. Any Russ thoughts, points, rebounds, and assists? Let's see what Russ is at. I haven't pulled that up just yet. Let's see. And I don't think he's going to be here. Give me 1 second. It's too early to have him there. Okay, yep. So not there. 26.5. That seems pretty low. It does. The question is, how many more minutes is he going to get? Okay, that's the question we got to answer. So let me see his minutes from the last game here. Obviously, going against Minnesota, we like that. Only got 39 minutes in this game, obviously, because the OT game, the crazy game. That was a fun game. It's honestly tough to say. I would say we just wait until we know what the minutes are going to be going forward. Like it could easily just be 30, and he still might not get there. So probably just staying away from the Russ one. Appreciate the comment here. Thank you. Jokic or Vooch rebounds. Actually, the Vooch one was kind of sticking out to me a little bit today as just like a player that we'd want to attack. Um, it's just a high number. Probably not for me. Let's see, Jokic, 12. I mean, against Houston, he should be able to get the over there. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Really there with Houston, just hoping that they can keep it close for long enough. And did we get news on KPJ being active or not? Let me check that real quick. Because the KPJ is active, that's just going to help this one. And by that, I mean Kevin Porter Jr., because Jalen Green is active. He's going to play. So, yeah, that could be a decent one. I don't mind that. Let's see the spread on that game. And this could be a situation, maybe you just do a first half bet as well. Okay, that's kind of crazy. So if Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green both play, 11 points still? That would suggest to me that maybe they're limited too as well. I mean, I know like Jalen Green and Kevin Porter Jr. are not elite, but this is what it would be like regardless of if they're playing or not. So strange. And so maybe you just do the first half one if you're trying to do it with Vooch. Yeah, so for this NHL taco, I was hoping it'd be Brady. That would have been the one. And heck, do we do both of them? Over for both of them? Yeah, I don't get why this wasn't the taco. People are probably looking at the game log, I'm assuming. and they got scared off because of that. That's what I'm assuming without looking at the Vegas odds. I'm just always taking the taco pretty much. Pascal points. Pascal Siakam has been popping up a little bit. He's actually one of the players fantasy point wise that was kind of popping up as well, which scares me a little bit. Okay. Like he should be able to get there, I think, against Chicago. Not a lock and load. Let me see him on here. I'll get into the fantasy points as well. Do I have someone still clicked? Let's see. I think I do. Or maybe he's not popping up anymore. No, he is right here. Okay. So I actually don't mind him for fantasy points for the over. That's probably the route I'm going, but it's really up to you. I don't mind it either way. Um, Damian Lillard set at 37 points, 37 and a half points. He's the only guy there right now, right? I mean, they're so banged up. It's not even like a bad number that we're getting for Lillard, is it? Like, it's just it's the nature of the beast right now. He's going off. And if you look at his per 36 numbers with Yusuf Nurkic out, I'll pull up his game log here. Like, it's not even a bad one. You pull up his game log or his per 36 numbers here with Yusuf out, with Simons out, with Winslow out, whatever. Um, it's crazy. 46 fans or 46.7 points per 36 with those 3 players off the court. I mean, that's insane. Like, it's probably too low. It's crazy. And going against Golden State, he typically does well against them. I know the last time out against him, only 33 points, right? Only. Probably go fantasy points with him. A little bit shocked that that's not popping up. Actually, very shocked that that's not popping up. So no. So this is a very good question here. So with the possibility of a blowout for Houston, I typically do not want to be targeting the team that is projected to get blown out in the first half. So if we are trying to chase a bet in the first half, the only time I do this is if a team is favored to win by a lot and we're worried about them not getting their final rotation. Now, yes, that could work for both teams. Um, don't hate it, but yeah, no, I don't want to reduce the sample size if I don't have to. Now, if we have a strong bet that we think is a really good bet and we kind of want to attack it, but we're also worried about the game blowing out, then that's the only time I really go for a first half bet. And so once again, with this, yeah, I'm not doing first half. But let's get into Zach Collins. This is actually a pretty good number that we're getting on Zach Collins, I think, personally. So obviously he's going against Utah, a team he just had 31 against. And really, since the Jakob Poeltl trade, he's been someone that's been getting a little bit more run. Now, the thing that we need to happen is we need the Spurs to keep this freaking game close. They have not done that in a while. Like, it's just frustrating with them. That is the biggest hindrance in terms of production in both DFS lineups and PrizePicks. This is a pretty good one on paper to me, though. And so let me just pull up his game log here for you guys as well. And so the biggest thing as well is like they're still without Roby, they're still without well, Ken Burch has been out. But like look at this, like 26, 27. If we knew for sure that we were gonna get 32 minutes, yeah, we'd just be loading up on Zach Collins for the full game, right? It's just we can't. Let's look at the spread on this one. 9.5. And for me personally, I start to worry about the blowout risk, about players maybe not getting their final rotation when it's 7.5 or more points. So not we don't love that. We don't love that. But it is still a pretty good number. And let's see what his is. So he's slightly projected to get over the fantasy points, not by much, but just slightly by like a point. So not a terrible bet. All right. Thanks, JB. Appreciate it. All right. So, man, a lot of comments. I appreciate you guys trying to catch up, and it's just tough. Okay. So just gonna rapid fire real quick. Dante DiVincenzo over points, rebounds, and assists. I did see that one. That one's not terrible. Not something that I've made yet today. Under Kyle Kuzma points is in the slump. Yeah. So I don't mind this, Terry. If you are making that bet, I would say the route to go. I believe. Let me just confirm this real quick. I believe Porzingis is out. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, Porzingis is out, Morris is out. So what I would want to do is I think Gafford would be the move to go with if you are doing that bet for like Kyle Kuzma under. Like he's going to continue to struggle, then I don't mind that. We have any for Denny? No. Gosh, man, like this would be a good one too if we can make it. They know what they're doing, right? They know what they're doing. Unfortunate, man. It's like the ones that like in your head, like if this was NBA DFS or sorry, this was DraftKings or FanDuel, like you'd be super excited for because you knew that they had a line, they have to have a line. That'd be the situation. And obviously it's not there. Yeah, so this is actually one of my favorite bets on the day right now as it sits. I kind of mentioned this in the morning video, would be Jakob Poeltl over fantasy points. And I'm just going to write this down so I remember to do it at the end of the video. Just looking at it, like 30.5 is just simply too low for his production lately on the team. And I broke this down, I think, pretty well this morning, kind of going over it, but I'll do it again here. So the bet here really is just going to be the minutes. I think the reason why he had 27 minutes in this game against Detroit was because it was the front end of a back-to-back. And then the next night he had 27 minutes simply because it was a blowout. We saw the first two games with Toronto, got a lot of minutes. So that suggests to me that they do have trust in him. They have trust in his body. Sounds weird to say, but like they don't think he's going to like break down by getting too many minutes, which is what the Spurs might have been doing. We don't know if that's confirmed or not. I kind of, now that he's traded, I kind of saw it as they were limiting his minutes so that they could trade him. So I think they're fine giving Jakob Poeltl some minutes, and we can see been highly productive, been getting rebounds, getting assists, getting blocks, getting steals, getting points. Like maybe as a whole, like doing points or rebounds or assists, like maybe doing that prop isn't the best, although the assist prop was kind of popping up this morning. Maybe the fantasy points is just the way to go. And so that's my long way of saying this is just simply too low. And even against Chicago, it seems too low. And so I believe it was one of the better ones on the day. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah. So not a big edge, only projected to get 1.17 more. To me, I would say if he gets 32 minutes, he's going to crush that. So that, like if we are making this bet, and it is one of my favorite ones, we're making a bet on the minutes. Okay. Couple more. So Kevon Looney, points you could do. I think just like he's still also someone that's kind of just being undervalued, it seems like, by PrizePicks, but it is kind of my worry with Jakob Poeltl earlier today, where it's just like, okay, how many great games in a row can he have? Like he's got to have a bad game here soon. At the same time, like this seems like a low number for Kevon Looney, especially going against Portland. Need that game to stay close. It should be a higher scoring game, but you know he's going to get some rebounds. You know he's going to get some points. So yeah, as a whole, like Looney should be a good bet as a whole. He's been productive, points, rebounds, and assists. Been productive rebounds wise. Been productive points wise. So like as a whole, Looney should be pretty good. Horton-Tucker threes, is that one still there? Let me see. I know at the start of the day it was one of the better ones. It is still there. So like not terrible. I don't mind that. if we are making the bet, I still think like this probably would be the best one. I'm guessing, and let's look at here. This number might have changed for the sports books on it. Okay, so still pretty good, minus 130. Yeah, I guess like I'm fine with it. It's still good. I already have it in one of the tacos, the morning taco, so it's fine. Okay. All right, man. I'm so slow. I answered the questions in depth too much. I apologize for anyone that has asked some questions. All right, AD rebounds and assists. I am fine with any AD bet today. Gosh, that's terrible advice. Just I'm trying to catch up here. Cam Johnson fantasy score. I actually do like Cam Johnson fantasy score. Really for the Brooklyn Nets, I feel like one of the players, and actually it's Cam Johnson and also Nick Claxton as the two that are popping up the most in terms of which players we should be betting over fantasy points for today. So like Cameron Johnson projected to get over it by 3.4. And then Nick Claxton actually really projected to get over. I'm a little bit iffy about that with Nick Claxton. The projected minutes are pretty high. It seems like 29.5, which is about 4 more than he averages. It's going to be because Ben Simmons is out. And I think that might just help out Johnson a little bit more. So I don't mind that. Very nice, Ethan. Ethan is the comment goat on the channel right now. Just been commenting a lot. I appreciate it. That just helps the channel out as well. I like Gafford fantasy without Porzingis. Yeah, I do too, Drake. I think that should be a strong one. Like the issue with fantasy points specifically is that players are just going to have off nights. They might get into foul trouble and whatnot. That's true with any prop, right? But yeah, Gafford was the one that stuck out to me today, even if he's not really exactly popping up here. And isn't it funny, guys? Aaron Naismith is one popping up again. I don't get it. This guy is always popping up fantasy point-wise. It's the strangest thing. Okay. So yeah, with Jakob Poeltl, I think I'm just going to do fantasy points or points, rebounds, and assists. I don't know if I want to do a single stat for him. Yeah, I feel like this is like the worst one that we have gotten for NHL thus far in terms of the taco prop. Like typically speaking, the NHL tacos have been like, all right, that's a lock and load. You feel 100% confident that's going to hit. Whereas today it's like, oh, that's kind of risky. Like I don't really get why it's out there. I literally think it's because people in the Discord saw this. Oh, he's been over that 3 out of 4 times. We need to load up on that instead of actually like looking at the details as to why, or they just messed up and did the wrong one. Because this would have been the one to go just based off of the sportsbook odds. Just strange there. Yep. This one is strong here. Kyle Kuzma, fine with. Okay. I'm trying to get caught up. And we also have some chats going on with each other. Keep it nice, guys. Keep it nice, but I don't mind that. By all means, chat along together. This is very much a sport in which we are trying to win together. I'm not going to be mad if you guys are chatting over picks as well. If you guys disagree with me too, that's fine. I don't really care. We're trying to help each other. We're not playing against each other. That's the best part about PrizePicks. Yeah, so Gafford should be a decent bet. So I'll talk about him a little bit more in depth here because he's been one of the most talked about players. So it is kind of a strange number out there for him. And I just need to pull up this data here real quick as well. I didn't think we were going to get this many questions about Washington, but it is like the one that sticks out like a sore thumb. All right, so Gafford, per 36 numbers with Porzingis off the court, 16.3, 10 points, 10.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 2.7 blocks, about a steal, averaging 40 fantasy points per 36. Now let's go ahead and see the projection on him again. I'm very curious about the minutes. So we can see projected to get 29. I mean, not terrible. Not terrible. Like he should be able to get this over. Only projected to get 27.3. So let's take a peek at that game. Is there any risk of this game blowing out? Because I would say that'd be the number one reason why he wouldn't get there then. I say 7.5 points. It's at 7. Okay, so no, we don't. Definitive no, we don't have to worry about the blowout. Yeah, we do, but should be enough scoring there, so we're good. Yeah, so once again with Jakob Poeltl, the fantasy points, it is like both with Gafford and Jakob Poeltl, and this is very much why I kind of say, especially on Taco Tuesday, just try to take the free bets. Like if we're just betting ones in which where we can tell the number's too low, on average, these are going to be the ones that hit. What sucks tonight is thus far, we don't have like any like blatantly good free squares, I don't think. Okay. Like maybe Josh Giddey under, but at the same time, that was the free square last night or 2 nights ago. And I hate saying free square, just good bet. Okay. And like, I just don't like to overly push that stuff, if that makes sense. Okay. So I actually like a stack here somewhat decently, Ethan. So I kind of like Lopez for fantasy points over, and I don't mind kind of stacking that game. If Brooklyn can keep it close, I don't mind like Claxton, Lopez, and Johnson over fantasy points. But you are highlighting like 3 out of the 4 players that I think are a little bit low. Like Jaren Jackson, I'm fine. Like obviously, I don't like to run out 4 like bets, but that's fine. All right, so AD points, rebounds, and assists. Let's just talk about the Lakers. So AD against Memphis, he should be able to go off, right? This is not a matchup that should really hinder any sort of production for Anthony Davis. If we look at his production with LeBron, with Westbrook, and with Patrick Beverley off the court, it's a tiny, tiny sample size, especially with Anthony Davis, who gets injured himself. Looking at it, though, he should be able to go off. I don't know if points, rebounds, and assists would be the approach, though. Okay, so he averages 21.4 points per 36, and this is about a 180-minute sample size, so not huge. 16.4 rebounds and 50 fantasy points. So let's just look if we can use that information to find a different bet for Anthony Davis that we want to make. No, Anthony Davis is properly projected today, unfortunately. Maybe rebounds, but that's a lot. I'd rather go Jokic, I think. Yeah, I'm probably staying away from AD, unfortunately. It's just he's juiced up. They did a good job. Yeah, so let's just look at Jaren Jackson as well here. So I have a better feel for fantasy scoring. That's kind of why I always start with that. Probably, man. I need to look at his game log. Okay. So 21 minutes, and that makes sense. And then 20 minutes. So as long as the minutes are there, he should be productive. Last time out against the Lakers, kind of sucked. I don't know. Maybe we could do better. He is someone that was popping up like data-wise. I don't know. It feels like we're forcing it. So Jordan Poole over points and assists at 29.5. See his assists lately. Because, yeah, they've been down a little bit. But against Portland, like, he should be able to get there. Like, I know he's been terrible recently. But at some time, I feel like he'd be just a much better DFS play than he is PrizePicks prop. Like, he has just not been making buckets, right? He is due to have a good game. He is due to have a monster game. And that's probably where I'd rather play him on DraftKings or FanDuel, because we can see his shot attempts have also been down because he's been terribly cold lately. 20 shot attempts, he was getting that a bunch for a while there. Last time out against Portland, he did get that. Okay, 3 ball attempts, been missing those as well. So, man, I don't mind it. This even seems low. He's just in a little bit of a slump. Like, I don't mind betting on players to have a bounce back game. And it seems like that could be it. Okay. Clarkson out? Yes. Yeah, so that's another thing. I'm a little bit shocked with Clarkson and Sexton out. I'm a little bit shocked at that spread. I thought it'd be much tighter than that. And was it confirmed or not if the Spurs were getting back Trey Jones? Because that'll help. He's been solid. Let's see. Yeah, Trey Jones is still expected to start. I mean, they're still really banged up, but still, I mean, that seems a little bit crazy to me. And it's an NBA team. Eventually, they have to get it. Yeah, so I still like Jakob Poeltl over fantasy points. It's personally, I see it as the best one that we're getting. We could make it if we want to. Man, these comments are like from 15 minutes ago. Looney rebounds, I'm fine with that. Siakam, I'm fine with these ones. These are all solid. Okay. This is interesting. So if Jakob Poeltl doesn't start, we just got to wait and see what the news would be. Is that to get him more minutes off the bench? Because if he's coming off the bench against second unit players and he's still getting 30 minutes, like he's going to feast even more then. That would be very interesting, but I don't know why they would sit him. Okay, we got Pascal. Okay, yeah. Pascal Siakam expected to start. Scotty Barnes, OG, Gary Trent, and Fred VanVleet. I'm fine with it. I am. Let's see here. Like, I just, if he's coming off the bench, that's just going to be what he's going up against. Drummond. Like, he'd be able to feast there. So, yeah, it's really just a bet on the minutes. If he's getting 27 to 30 minutes, which is what he's projected to get, heck, that's almost more appealing to me. It's like Westbrook when he was coming off the bench for the Lakers, just came in and had a high usage rate. If he was getting 30 minutes, it was an easy plug and play. It is definitely something to monitor. I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you think it's good or bad that he is coming off the bench? It's an interesting thought. All the Josh Giddey lines are looking good. All right, let me get into my favorite bets, and then I'll try to catch up to the comments, guys. Okay? So I'll get in kind of the today's bets section. Also, I love the comments. Trying to catch up. It's not a fault on you guys. I just need to be a little bit better at pacing the comments. All right, so I mentioned yesterday or 2 nights ago's video, I basically went and made 2 nights ago's video because of the OKC Thunder lines that we were getting. And it was a game that was projected to stay close. So I really wanted to go ahead and attack it. Okay. And guys, for what's worth, Kevon Looney, maybe not the best for fantasy points. I still like it, but I very much like to factor in the data, project to get under the fantasy points for what that's worth. Okay. But Josh Giddey, I find this extremely interesting. So I haven't done the per 36 adjustments to the projections just yet, like I would like to do. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. I don't know how I can go about timing that wise, because that's much more of a manual data type of thing. So it's pretty crazy that the fact that he is still overvalued with that is kind of crazy. So for those of you guys that don't know, Josh Giddey with SGA off the court actually averages less fantasy points per 36 with him off the court. Okay, so the minutes aren't really projected to change at all. His projection is under it as well. Okay. Opponent's a little bit more of a difficult matchup in terms of this as well. So in theory, this should be the one that we go with. And gosh, do we do a stack with the taco? I don't know. Because this is one of those ones in which it correlates. It's tough. I don't want to go against my strategy, but it does correlate. So let me find Giddey here and the OKC Thunder, if I can. I can't. Jeez. So like Josh Giddey under 39.5 fantasy points. Like that would be the bet. We can see hasn't been able to get over. The reason why he's projected to get this high when he hasn't done it is because for some reason it could be a volume bet thing. I don't really know why. Like the data says he's not better with SGA off the court. I'm looking for the number right now specifically. Averages 3.4 less points per 36 with him off the court. And Alexei as well, the power forward or the forward. He averages 38 fantasy points per 36. He's projected to get 31 minutes. So let's go, Kings. Let's blow them out. Basically. It's not like he can't get there. I mean, he's a solid player, right? He can get a triple-double. Like, it wouldn't be shocking. But I think the best bets that we are getting once again would be Joe. And I know someone in the comment section 2 nights ago was like, man, these are terrible. And Jalen Williams got there. Isaiah Joe got there. They just had a terrible first half. I still don't mind this. I mean, this was very tight. This was a sweat. But he is someone that per 36 numbers are crazy. He averages about 4 more fantasy points per 36 with SGA off the court. So that'd probably be the approach that we go with. Like he has been someone that has been a little bit impressive. Obviously, they're going against the Kings again, so we're hoping that he can get there. I really wish we were getting Kenrich Williams again. I wish we were getting the other Jalen Williams, the one with a Y, because that would be a good one. But I feel like we'd be forcing it a little bit, but this isn't a terrible one as well for the over. But what I was trying to say is that we could do over fantasy points for Isaiah Joe and under fantasy points for Josh Giddey, and then use that with the taco, if that makes sense. Because it kind of correlates. Like, if Isaiah Joe is going off, that's going to mean Josh Giddey is not getting there. I guess the vice versa would work as well, but just looking at the numbers, that's the one that it suggests that we should do. And I'm actually curious, is Isaiah Joe popping up here at all? I don't think he was. Not like insanely. So like, yeah, slightly over by 2 points. And so I hope this helps to really paint the picture of like the prop bet and like what we're searching for. Like an edge of 2 points is a decent amount, right? If he gets around 30 minutes, that's huge. And obviously we would take that. So that's a big enough edge for me. And I was a little bit nervous because Trey Mann ended up getting a lot more run than I thought he was going to. Shot attempts were down a little bit. And honestly, like he did bail us out by making like 3 3-pointers in a row. And I hope that increases his role. I'm looking at this. It might just be best to do points here. Because he's not getting any other stats too much, like rebounds or assists. What's his point set at? I mean, right? That would be the move. His points, I think. I'm kind of worried about the extremely efficient night shooting. I don't know. So 20 points per 36. Not going to get 36 minutes, so probably closer to around 18 points. Obviously, just want to... I'd probably say points. Once again, what are your guys' thoughts there? But like looking at it, I do think Brook Lopez is just simply the best one that we are getting for fantasy points right now. I know it says Aaron Naismith. You guys can make that. I'm fine with that, I guess. But we're seeing Brook Lopez over. And that's probably the one I like the most. Then just looking at it, like, damn. I wish the board wasn't as tight as it is today. That's what sucks. I can't control when I can control when I do content. I can't control when the board is presented and whatnot. So to me, right now, it's still like Jakob Poeltl over fantasy points, unless the chat is disagreeing with that strongly. Okay, then we can adjust. I don't mind Gafford over 26 fantasy points. I think that's a pretty strong one. I will say Cameron Johnson here does seem like a very low one, especially with Ben Simmons off the court. Now, if he doesn't get there, I think it'd be because Nick Claxton got there. Nick Claxton is very much just a bet on the minutes. Probably go Cam Johnson. And we just hope that the Nets keep it close. The issue with the Nets is that they have so many players that can get there. And it kind of just seems like they're figuring it out chemistry-wise. Like Mikal Bridges, because he easily get there. Spencer Dinwiddie could also easily get there. Like, it just wouldn't be shocking either way. And for what it's worth, this is kind of a low number for Drew as well. But no, I think Brook would be the approach to go with. 26 just seems too low. Let me try to find his game log against the Nets. And the part of this is I was trying to just read real quick if he was going to have his minutes capped. He's not, apparently. Which, to me, as a Bucks fan, I don't know if you guys can see that in the corner. I kind of want his minutes to be limited a little bit. The issue with the Bucks is that they are healthy. This is the healthiest they've been. They got Chris back. They got Bobby back. They got Joe Ingles back. I think this is the first game, and I know Giannis is a little bit banged up, but it might be the first game in which like none of their significant players, the players are going to see playing time in the playoffs. I don't know if Wesley Matthews is going to get playing time in the playoffs. That they're all active and ready to go. And so I would say with that, like you never know for sure with that because, you know, it's kind of figuring it out. But let's see. What did Brook do against Brooklyn? Was he not playing them? Oh, he did. Okay. One game early on in the season. Do we have another one? Okay. This one's going to be much more useful. So 23 points, a steal, 26, 24 with those two. Okay, so we got the over pretty easily on PrizePicks and Underdog. And the other game, let's see here. Close, not terrible. Because they valued the block and whatnot at 3 points. I don't know. I can see why the projections are favoring that. And then I was a little bit shocked. I thought, like, if we knew Jared Vanderbilt was guaranteed to get 30 minutes tonight, like, we would just be going crazy with this one. This one would be such a strong bet. Because he would go off. Like, that to me is the exact same bet as Daniel Gafford. So let's see here. I know AD is probable. You never know with him. He could get injured. Actually, knock on wood there. I don't want to jinx him. But if we knew for sure that Vanderbilt was going to get, let's just say 27, 26 minutes even, I think he would be able to get the over. Like Hachimura, we have no idea how many minutes he's going to get. So to me, that'd be the approach that I would want to go with. And Vanderbilt is expected to start at the power forward position. Like, it's probably one of my favorite bets as well. And so once again, we're just trying to hit 3 of these. So Vanderbilt, Gafford, Brook, maybe Cam Johnson, Jakob Poeltl, fantasy points. Those are probably my favorite ones. And then Isaiah Joe points, over the points. Those are probably my 6 favorite that I'd go with right now. Okay, so let me try to catch up to the comments that we have. Because we got a lot. And we got 165 viewers in here. That's pretty awesome, guys. That is freaking awesome. I appreciate that. If you can just leave a thumbs up, that's going to help push it to, some more people as the day progresses. And that's kind of the beauty about PrizePicks, about Underdog, is that, we're playing against them. We're not playing against each other. So it does pay to help each other out. All right, let's try to get caught up. Just pulling this one up, not commenting on it. Thank you, I guess. Oh God. Let's not highlight those ones. Never mind. That's going to roll with Vooch. Jakob to counter Vooch. I mean, it's honestly, this is the difficult part about this part of the season after the trade deadline. Like, maybe they're trying to get a different look. Maybe they don't want to do that just yet. It's like, honestly, I don't like, Who knows what they're trying to think? Or is it a team chemistry thing? Like, what are they trying to do? I mean, so for this question right here, I feel like we got a pretty strong comment section going, the chat section. So if you want to put that in here in the chat, I feel like people would answer this for you as well. So just FYI. Ryan's going crazy with his comments. I'm catching up. These are about 20 minutes ago. Just to clarify on the tacos, we should do 5 separate $5 bets, right? Yes. So yes. I mean, so if there are, the issue with this strategy is that throughout the day, like the ones that we're betting the really good lines on, those are going to be gone most likely. So like NHL wise, like the Piran one was the best one that we were getting. Let me just see real quick if we have any new good NHL ones. This is not going to be the best content right now, but let me just do a quick search on these. All right, let's see. So like this one is not great. This is minus 137 for the under. Probably not using that one. But like the thing is, like when we're attacking lines like this, let's see what Crosby's is right now, because his was a favorable one this morning. Minus 135. It went down slightly, but they're going to adjust these typically like when we have a really strong free square. So throughout the day, the strong like Vegas line based bets that we're making, or even some NBA ones that we're making, those might be taken away. They might get bumped. So it's not always just 15 separate ones. If we have 5 strong bets throughout the day, one that kind of gets me scared that they didn't get adjusted. But if we can make that great, right? It's going to make it easier to have 2 out of the 5 cash, 3 out of the 5 cash, heck, if 4 of the 5 can cash, that's huge. But yes, that is kind of the strategy that we are trying to go with there, is that when the tacos come out, we are trying to make the best 5 bets with that taco that we can. And the reason that we are doing that is because to break even, all you have to do is hit 5 bets on the day. If 6 bets hit, which isn't a lot, what is 6 divided by 15? Let me just do that real quick here. 40%. Like that's not great. But by pairing it with like favorable odd bets, like we can increase our chances of that one hitting. And so obviously the more that we get, the better it is going to be there. But it's really not that hard to hit 5 bets. Okay, so this one is still there. On average, it's minus 150 for the under here. The interesting thing is that the over is set at even. So it's still strange there. But that's one that we could also make. Trying to see if we have any other NHL bets. And I'll do this after. If there's any, fine, I'll tweet it out. Does anyone else see one? Any NHL bets that they like, numbers wise? Because I don't know if we're getting that. Let's see. No. And they did take away the one good bet that we had. I don't want to say free square that we were getting. Okay, so I think that cleared up that question. Yeah, so once again, guys, I don't like doing first half points. So KJ Martin's fine. I'm fine with KJ Martin, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm probably like, if we were going to bet on the Houston players, I'd probably bet on the unders for the secondary players. Like Sangoon, Jabari Smith, not Jalen Green, like KJ Martin, I'd probably bet the under on him, because if Kevin Porter's back playing a full allotment of minutes, and I guess that's what we're trying to figure out, is how many Kevin Porter are going to get. But, obviously those are the 2 guys. And Had Green and Porter been out, this would have been a great prop. But to me, this is like what the line should be if they were out. And Sengun can get there, don't get me wrong, but I probably just bet the under on Sengun, Smith, and Martin. Like that'd probably be the approach I go with. And my goodness, did they drop this? Oh gosh, I hope some people were able to make that one. I totally forgot about the Giddy bet. Like, I think they dropped at a point, did they not? 37.5? All right, so I'm trying to catch up. I keep saying this. I'm 24 minutes gone. Yeah, so what about the OKC players? I think they just dropped this a point. I still don't mind Isaiah Joe. Dort, like he should be able to get there. Like his per 36 numbers with SG off the court are like closer to 35. The fact that he didn't get there yesterday or 2 nights ago against the Kings, like I probably will get there. I wish we were getting the other Jalen Williams. I wish we were getting Kendrick Williams as well. I don't mind this one for this Jalen Williams. Yeah, I think Isaiah Joe over points would be the way to go here. Gosh, I'm so late on these. I apologize, guys. Okay, so he got bumped for, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. He probably should have. That's true. This is very true, Preston. Yeah, I forgot about that. It was like literally the last minute left in the game. I mean, but that's literally it, though. I think that's like the nature of the game right there. That's why you kind of take it. Like it's a full allotment of the game, although it does become a sweat. Like eventually one's going to miss, right? We know that. I don't think I want to do that just yet. Yeah, I would say Vanderbilt is the way to go there. John Collins, first half. Yeah, I think Vanderbilt, everyone's saying it. They like it. Okay. Let's see here. Still trying to get caught up. Looney Fantasy. So the cheat sheet said no. Don't do fantasy points. And I don't know if I agree with it. I would say the over fantasy points would be the way to go. And it's not adjusting for per 36 numbers with Wiggins, with Curry off, with all those players off. And so that's probably why the over is being favored. And obviously lately, Looney's been a stud. And so that's probably why I'd go with that. Interesting here. Don't mind that. All right, trying to get caught up. Giannis under points, rebounds, and assists. I don't know. Like, I just don't think we bet on Giannis today. Just with the minutes, I think we wait until we see what's going to happen. Will he get 30 minutes? Will he get 36 minutes? Will he get 20? You know, I don't think he'd be playing if he wasn't ready to go. At the same time, if one little thing happens, like what happened in the last game, it seems like he's probably just going to sit. But also, I don't know if you guys saw that. It was just kind of weird. They didn't need him to come back. He probably would have came back if they needed him to. Okay, Miles Turner, points and rebounds is at minus 135 to get the over. Just pull that up real quick as well. Oh, interesting. Let's see if we got a projection on him. Once again, guys, this is some of the updates throughout the day. This one, I should have Turner in here. I do not. Let me refresh this one. And that was a risky move, guys. Just with the internet connection. Well, live streaming. And I'm actually live streaming to, I think, Twitter right now. I hope so. Turner. Okay, so it's not in there just because don't have enough lines on him from all the sports books. So let's pull him up here on DraftKings. And so that the whole purpose of that tool that I have is to highlight the best props that are coming up. I'm assuming it's not the best one on paper. I mean, I don't hate it though. Against Dallas, not the highest scoring game. I mean, I don't mind it. I'm never going to talk anyone off of a prop, but some I like more than others. I don't mind that one. Yeah, I think I like Joe over points, I think. All right, so what is your guys' thoughts on turnovers? I don't know. Like, I see a lot of people say like turnover props and free throw props. To me, that seems so situational. So I struggle with that, especially the free throw ones. Just play. Is that actually a thing there, Tom? They're homeboys. They like to play in Brooklyn, huh? Interesting thought. And so is it Dinwiddie and Claxton at away games then? Is that the rule? That's the thing with the Nets. It's like I feel like that in a sense they have too many of the same guys. Like good secondary or third options. And that's their whole team. When are we going to get the next taco? Typically speaking, it comes out, I think, like a half an hour after this one closes. So I would hope that that's the free square taco that we're getting. Because I personally, the Trae Young one's most likely going to hit. It wasn't one that was just like you feel gung-ho about. And this one, same thing. So I'm assuming and I'm hoping the next one is the best one. Okay, they did just move Giddey's line way down. That sucks for me personally, guys. So that's the toughest part about content is that I did not make this bet just yet. Probably still going to go Isaiah Joe. They did. Okay, and I know this was when I asked like 5 minutes ago. That sucks. So hopefully some people were able to make that bet. Okay, so a lot of people are saying this for the NHL prop. Let's check this one out. Oh, that's nice. We like to see them green lines. Let's see. Yeah, that's not bad. Minus 130. Obviously, we can see he's been over that a few times lately. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. So there we go. We got a decent NHL one as well. Ryan is just going crazy when in the chat. We might have to get a chat bot in here. Yeah, this one was showing up. What is he set at? I thought it was a push. They had it set at a push. Oh, they don't. It's at 1.5. Yeah, this one's not terrible as well. I did see that one. So no, and I don't know if this was just a random bot comment. I don't like to look at random other options. I think if we're doing PrizePicks and Underdog, we are doing that because those are the best ones out there. And so that's why I don't know if you guys have seen the So Rare content that I've been doing. That's a fun, established product and company. Like they're partners with the NBA. The So Rare NBA, it's like a digital trading one. Like I'm happy to promote that because it's a solid, fun product. Like stuff like Thrive. Never mind. Not going to go there. It's just this is set up pretty well. PrizePicks, Underdog, and So Rare. So I like that. Yeah, Zach Collins. We got Jakob Poeltl. All right. Does anyone have a lock as well? Okay. Dylan Brooks under points. Man, guys, Dylan Brooks keeps popping for the overs because he's been under so much lately. Okay. He definitely met a new norm. I'm not touching Dylan Brooks. Not touching Dylan Brooks. This is just annoying. So honestly, is someone watching this stream? Honestly, he's got to be, right? 171 viewers going on right now, which thanks all of you guys. That's freaking awesome. That's just crazy to me. Desmond Bane over rebounds. I don't remember that one popping. Just because I don't like a prop, guys, doesn't mean that you guys can't make it. So are you making that bet for a push for the purposes of it being a push with a taco? I mean, I don't hate that. Obviously, you'd want to get the over. I don't mind that. So yeah, it's set at a push on PrizePicks. I don't hate that. It's not terrible. I won't. It was funny, but yeah, it's just all right. So Halliburton, okay. So I'm going to be getting out of here in about 5 minutes. If you guys have any more questions, get them in. I feel like I could have been more straightforward at the start of this video with like some of the props, and I apologize. I think I'll start out the next live stream with that, do kind of the video portion, and then get into the questions at the end of it. I don't know if I'll do it by section again. Just get the information out and then answer the questions is what I think I'll do next time. Against Dallas. Let's see what it's set at. That's set as a push, so no. Okay, so yeah, they like yeah, Turner. I don't hate that one. That's fine. I do still feel like there is a Horton bet out there. It just wasn't the fantasy points one like I thought it was going to be. And I feel like I feel like someone did watch it and said, you know what, we can get some people. 9-5. Eric said Horton over fantasy points. That's going to be the move. And now that they set it at 34.5, I hope people don't make that bet. I mean, obviously he can get there. He can get out there and chuck. It's just that kind of sucks. Real quickly as well, if Trey Jones is ruled out, I don't mind this one. Okay, and it's very much dependent on that. If Trey Jones is out, or if we get news that he's limited, this is a solid one that we're getting. Not a perfect one, but a solid one. I'm actually curious. Do we have any Chris Dunn ones yet? I was hoping we'd get some Chris Dunn bets. Nope. Okay. I mean, yeah, me too. But at the same time, it seems like it was a weird stretch for like 3 days in a row. The best NHL bets that we were getting, the ones that they were going out of their way to bump, they did not hit. And then these like secondary ones that were also pretty good, but in comparison to the other bets, they were hitting. And it's so strange. It was like PrizePicks would have been better off just not bumping them. But yeah, it's still a good number. Obviously, we're going to make those bets. Keegan Murray. Don't mind Keegan Murray. No way. Is this true? I didn't know this. I have to look this up on Twitter. So I haven't been following Monkey Knife Fight at all. Wow. That's crazy. But yes, that's a perfect example of it, guys. It's risky. It's risky. And I think PrizePicks has a strong foothold. Like I said, I think Sorare has a strong one with their kind of section. And I think Underdog is I think PrizePicks and Underdog are kind of the two top dogs in terms of fantasy right now. Obviously, DraftKings and FanDuel, they're kind of their own separate thing, but yeah, I like it. Review final top bets. Yeah, let's just do that real quick. So for me, I am kind of just attacking fantasy score. I still think Jakob Poeltl is going to be a good one, especially if he's getting a lot of minutes against the second unit. With him, it's just a minutes bet. But we can see, like, if he's going to get the minutes, this is going to be a strong number that we're getting. The only worry I have with Jakob Poeltl is that eventually he's going to have a bad game. It's tough to sustain the productivity that he has had, really, since he's joined Toronto. So I guess that could happen today. I don't think it would. A lot of us did like Daniel Gafford over 26 fantasy points as well. With Porzingis out, should be able to get there. As long as the minutes are there, which they're projected to be, he should be able to get there. Now, personally, I like Cam Johnson, 23.5 fantasy points over. The issue is the Bucks just need to keep the game close. One of the best ones that we were getting projection-wise was Brook Lopez over 26 fantasy points. Should be able to get there against Brooklyn. Okay. The issue with this game is it could potentially blow out. We're hoping that Brooklyn can keep it close. Thus, the Bucks get their final rotation. And we don't know the minutes on Giannis. Like, if Giannis has his minutes capped, that's only going to help Brook Lopez. The issue that I have with Brook Lopez today, and really all the Bucks, is that they are fully healthy. This is the first time that, and they're not. Wesley Matthews is out, but like the playoff rotation that they're going to have, this is the healthiest they've been. Let's put it that way. And so we don't exactly know what to expect. But that's the theme of second half basketball. Some teams are tanking, some teams are trading, and whatnot. This one for Jared Vanderbilt should be a strong one. If the minutes are there like they're projected to be, like 29 minutes, or was it 27? Whatever, 27 to 29 minutes. If he gets those minutes, he should be able to get that. He is someone that does average over a fantasy point per minute. Thus, against Memphis as well, should be able to get the over. A lot of people like Jaren Jackson Jr. as well. I don't mind that one. It was an easier bet earlier. Still not terrible, but probably just looking elsewhere now. Isaiah Joe, I don't mind fantasy points, but I was looking at it and I realized most, if not all of his production was coming from points pretty much. So he's set at 16.5 points. We're probably just doing the points instead. A lot of people were calling out Keegan Murray. I noticed that. Don't hate against OKC, right? He should be able to have a good game against OKC. Just did. Not a terrible fantasy score as well. And then I do think we would chase this if we get news that Trey Jones is out. Zach Collins, not terrible. And for what it's worth, guys, this Horton, 34.5, he's projected to get lower than that by like 2. So I'm just mad that they did that. And then that's kind of it. Like Looney, probably priced up a little bit too much. Like if you wanted to bet him, I don't hate it going against Portland. I don't mind. Like his per 36 numbers suggest that he should get over. Maybe you're just doing points and rebounds there. So yeah, with Poole, he is eventually going to have a good night shooting. Like he has just been so terrible lately. Like he's bound to have a good night shooting soon. He's been bad the past few nights. And so we know he's going to shoot. We know his per 36 numbers, and he should get around 36 minutes with all those players off the court is above this current projection. Yeah, he should be able to get the over. He just needs to make some buckets. It's as simple as that. Like the assists have been there, like you'd want it to be. He just needs to hit some jumpers. And, no better time than tonight after a few cold nights shooting. Horton over assists, I am fine with. Dort points and assists. I don't mind that. I think Dort is going to have a good bounce back night. I don't mind doing fantasy points. Is this one still there, Nick? Yeah, this one was popping up earlier this morning at minus 145. So if that one is still there, I don't mind that. Why? If this is a question, you shouldn't make the bet. If it's a question between doing it over and under for shots on goal, I wouldn't do it. This is kind of a crazy stat. Huh. Let's see DeMar. What the heck is going on? I don't think my connection is perfect to this sheet right now. Let's see. Yeah, I need to refresh this for some reason. It's not connecting. It's not bad. It's not a bad one. I did see that one popping up a little bit earlier. Gobert over rebounds. I'm annoyed with Gobert. Yeah, in theory, Gobert is in a good spot tonight. Probably would do this. It's a pretty good matchup, easy matchup. If he gets a few blocks as well, he could easily do that as well. So not terrible. Oh man. So I think I just covered this for you prior to getting to that. DeAndre Hunter, I don't have anything on DeAndre Hunter. He wasn't popping at all. Okay. So I believe we got it all. That's going to conclude the video, guys. I really appreciate it. So just, I guess, real quick, we are going to take this one. Kind of have to. And I like the fantasy points over for a lot of players that we were getting in NBA. Jakob Poeltl, Vanderbilt, Gafford, Isaiah Joe points we liked, Cam Johnson, Brooke Lopez. Those are all pretty good ones that we were getting. Okay. And then I didn't mind the Keegan Murray. Okay. All right, guys. So that is going to be it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the coverage. About an hour and 20 minutes. Pretty strong live stream. Had a lot of viewers coming in and out, mostly in, which is awesome. I appreciate it. Let's have a good Taco Tuesday. If I see any bets that I like, guys, I'll try to put it in the comment section of this video, okay, prior to lock. Because as it says right now, it didn't seem like we had any locks. We had a few very solid fantasy point prop bets, but no like locks. So I might just put that in the comment section if we do get some ones that are looking like locks. All right, that's all for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Do appreciate that. Let's have a good slate. And as always, let's keep cashing.